On your left, you'll see a mudflat. This is a feeding ground for some and home to others. The least sandpiper is a winter resident here. Other species of sandpiper also can be seen. These are birds of the mudflats, and they can be fun to watch as they seemingly run helter-skelter over the flat, probing with their bill. They will go where they can be most efficient and will ignore the rest of the area. The killdeer is tapping a foot in an effort to locate its food of insects and other invertebrates. It can also be found around agricultural areas. This bird has a tactic of faking a broken wing to lead potential threats away from its nest. These tuxedoed birds with the long red legs are black-necked stilts. They nest alone or in small colonies on the mudflats. If the water rises, they will hurriedly add material to the nest in a frantic effort to keep the eggs above the water. Like all shorebirds, they eat insects and other small creatures. The trees on the left are willows and are protected by the state of Florida because their branches provide shelter for herons and egrets as well as other birds. Willow is a natural source of aspirin, and the bark is used to create an ancient herbal tea. This contrasts with the melaleuca, a tree imported to dry out the Everglades because of its ability to drink up to 250 gallons of water a day. When efforts were started to save the wetlands, projects to kill the tree were undertaken. It continued to spread despite these efforts. Today, methods to eradicate the melaleuca are meeting with some success. These Australian pines were imported from Australia to act as windbreaks and natural barriers. Here the tree is in bloom. Another exotic is the water hyacinth. Nobody knows how or when it arrived on our shores. It has been the target of unsuccessful eradication programs since the late 1800s. This fast-growing plant chokes out the natural vegetation in a very short time. This plant is the pennywort, or dollar weed. It's actually a perennial herb found in the waterways throughout the Everglades. This beautiful flower is the splatterdock, or cow lily. It's a large perennial aquatic herb and a favorite place of the purple gallinule. These aquatic herbs may have white or yellow flowers. The mats it forms provides a solid footing for the birds as they walk over lily pads, searching for frogs, insects, and small snakes. Under the mat is an entire new world. Like above, invertebrates and small fish use the lily pads and stems for shelter from predators. The brown color of the water is a result of tannins, a naturally occurring substance. Many unnatural substances are finding a way into the Everglades. Phosphates from the Lake Okeechobee area are causing increased stands of cattails. These plants thrive in the nutrient-enriched waters the Everglades is now receiving, and crowding out the sawgrass, the stereotypical plant of this environment. Perched atop the tree on the left is one of the most common and beautiful aerial predators of the Everglades, the red-shouldered hawk. Their keen eyesight allows them to hunt while skimming over the grass. Prey consists of lizards, snakes, crayfish, insects, small mammals, and frogs, which make up their diet. After a meal, this hawk cleans itself. Particles of food on the leg, toes, beak, and the feathers can affect the health of the bird. They may not be able to explain the reasons for cleanliness, but sense that cleaning is important. They know instinctively that bacteria growing on a foot is not healthy and not a good idea. Feathers need to be cleaned and maintained because of their dual function, lift and insulation. When the female is ready to breed, she emits calls to entice the male to her. Here in southern Florida, some species of birds, including the red-shouldered hawk, breed more than once a year. Many factors enter into the breeding habit of this bird. Among them are food supply, age of the bird, and availability of nesting sites. The nest is built in the crotch of a large tree, with both sexes contributing labor to the undertaking. She usually lays 3 eggs in the nest, and both sexes will incubate them. The young emerge after 20 days. Another aerial predator in the Everglades is the snail kite. The beak of this bird is specifically adapted to reach in and hook an apple snail, its only food, out of the shell. These birds can eat a snail while flying or will go to a favorite tree branch to enjoy their meal. Using the air currents, these birds soar over the water trails in search of the eggs. These eggs are not part of its diet, however. This occipiter knows that where you'll find apple snail eggs, you'll find apple snails. These pink apple snail eggs are not quite ready to hatch. When they turn white like these, it's about time for the young snails to emerge. There are now 2 kinds of apple snails. This one, the smaller of the 2, is a native apple snail. This snail was imported from South America as a food source for the snail kite. This snail shell is believed to be deformed by the additional nutrients finding their way into the Everglades. The hole in this shell was made by the snail kite's only competition, the limpkin. Limpkins are not as specialized as kites and will eat frogs and insects also. These unwary birds were almost hunted to extinction, but are now making a comeback. Examples of other birds you might see in the Everglades are the glossy ibis on the left or an immature white ibis on the right. You may also see an American bittern or possibly a little blue heron or a beautifully colored adult white ibis. Most of the creatures in the Everglades, like this dragonfly, are on the small side, and you have to make a special effort to observe them. This anole is trying to attract a mate. Turtles, another ancient creature, can be found almost anywhere in the Everglades. This leopard grasshopper is strikingly colored as a warning to potential predators. Its body contains poisons. If you look closely, you'll see a damselfly on this beautiful plant. Another striking plant is the pickerel weed. Rare orchids are also found in the Everglades. This 5-petaled flower is wild clover. Epiphytes like this one are protected in Florida. tour is coming to an end. We hope you learned something from our trip together and look forward to seeing you in the Everglades.